My girlfriend said I could leave you anytime. Remember that? During our biggest fight yet, I said, noted, and made a move so calculated she came crawling back begging. So my girlfriend Nina loves playing the breakup card. Every argument ends with, I could leave you anytime over dishes, plans, even which Netflix show to watch. Last Tuesday, she pulled it again because I forgot to pick up her dry cleaning. You never prioritize me. I could leave you anytime. Remember that? I just said, noted, and went to my laptop. See, Nina's been threatening to leave for 8 months but never does. Want to know why? She can't afford to. I pay rent, utilities, her car payment, everything. So I decided to call her bluff. I found 3 studio apartments in her budget range and texted her the listings. $800 a month available immediately. Thought you'd want options for when you leave. She freaked. Are you kicking me out? Nope, just helping you follow through on your threats. Then I started meal prepping, opened my own bank account, and told my buddy Jake I might need a roommate soon. The panic in her eyes was incredible. Day 1 after the fight, Nina expected her usual apology. Instead, she found me researching moving companies and printing apartment applications. What's all this paperwork? Applications for those studios I sent you. Figured you'd need help with the process. She tried the silent treatment, posted Instagram stories about knowing your worth with crying emojis. I kept filling out rental forms. Day 2, I called landlords. Hi, about the studio listing. My girlfriend might be interested. She makes about $400 a month from social media. Nina overheard and went white. $400? That's not enough for rent anywhere. Thought you'd figure that out before threatening to leave constantly. Day 3 brought love bombing. She made breakfast for the first time in months, wore my favorite dress, suggested we watch movies together. Can't tonight. Helping Jake clear out his spare room. Since when do you help Jake? Since someone I know might need emergency housing. Her hands started shaking. You're really serious about this? You've been serious about threatening it for 8 months. I'm matching your energy. Day 4, she recruited backup. Her mom called me. Nina says you're throwing her out over dry cleaning. She keeps saying she could leave any time. I'm supporting her independence. She can't afford her own place. Then maybe she shouldn't threaten to leave every week. Day 5 brought her bestie Mia storming over. What's your problem? Nina's crying constantly, just respecting her choices. She's a strong, independent woman who doesn't need financial support, right? Mia looked around our apartment. The expensive TV Nina picked. The couch she insisted on. The kitchen I stock. Oh, I see what you're doing. Week 2. Nina started apartment hunting online. Reality hit when she realized her part-time income couldn't cover a parking space, let alone rent. Everything's so expensive. How do people afford living alone? Roommates? Second jobs? Or those guys in your DMs who think you're amazing? She slammed her laptop shut. This is financial abuse. This is you discovering what independence costs. You threaten to leave every disagreement. I'm calling your bluff. I didn't mean it literally. Then why say it constantly? Day 10 brought desperation. She applied for jobs, started selling clothes, asked her parents for money. Her dad texted, Nina says you're making her move out. I sent screenshots of her threats. She keeps saying she could leave anytime. Jesus, I had no idea. Day 12, she finally cracked. Real tears this time. I don't want to leave. I just wanted you to fight for me by threatening our relationship every week. That's not romance, Nina. That's manipulation. I'll stop. I promise. Please don't make me leave. I'm not making you do anything, but if you stay, the threats stop permanently. We communicate like adults or this actually ends. She nodded frantically. Yes, anything. I'll change. The next month told the story. Nina got a full-time job, started paying utilities without being asked. When we disagreed, she talked it through instead of threatening to leave. She hasn't played the breakup card once in 3 months. Turns out when you stop enabling manipulation tactics, people either grow up or get out. But then, things took a dark turn. I'm talking darker than I ever could have imagined. You know when you think you've got everything figured out? Yeah, well, I didn't see this coming at all. It started on a Wednesday morning. I woke up to my phone absolutely blowing up. I'm talking 50 notifications in the span of maybe 20 minutes. Texts from coworkers I barely talked to. Messages from old high school friends I hadn't spoken to in years. Even my gym trainer hit me up. At first, I thought someone died or something. The first message I actually opened was from my buddy Jake. Dude, what the hell is this? There was a link. I clicked it, still half asleep, and my stomach just dropped. It was a Facebook account with my name, my profile picture from 3 years ago, and posts that made me want to throw my phone across the room. Post after post about how women were inferior, how abuse victims were lying for attention, defending guys who got me too'd, saying things I would literally never in a million years say. The posts were time-stamped for times when I was either asleep or in meetings at work. Someone had put actual thought into this. I'm scrolling through this nightmare, right, and my hands are shaking. Each post was worse than the last. There were comments from people I knew, people calling me disgusting, saying they never knew I was like this. I tried to report the account, but Facebook's automated system basically told me to go screw myself because, technically, I needed to prove it wasn't me. Then my work phone rang. It was Linda from HR. She used that voice, you know the one, super professional and cold. "We need you to come in immediately. There's been a complaint." "What kind of complaint?" I asked. But I already knew. "We'll discuss it when you arrive. Please come to the main office, not your desk." I threw on clothes and drove to work, honestly feeling like I was gonna puke the entire time. When I got there, Linda and my boss Tom were waiting in the conference room with printed copies of the Facebook posts. They'd highlighted the worst ones. The room smelled like stale coffee, and I couldn't stop bouncing my leg under the table. "These posts were brought to our attention this morning," Linda said, sliding the papers across the table. "Multiple employees have expressed concern." "Those aren't from me," I said immediately. "Someone made a fake account." Tom leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. "The account has your name, your photo, and details about your life that would be difficult for a stranger to know, because someone who knows me made it." I pulled out my phone, showing them my actual Facebook account. "Look, this is my real account. I haven't posted anything like that, ever." Linda wrote something down. "Regardless of the account's authenticity, the company has a zero-tolerance policy for this kind of behavior, even outside of work. We're placing you on immediate suspension pending investigation." "You're suspending me for something I didn't do?" "It's temporary," Tom said, but his voice wasn't convincing. "Until we can verify the situation." I left the office feeling like my entire life was imploding. People I'd worked with for 3 years wouldn't even make eye contact with me in the parking lot. Jennifer from accounting literally turned and walked the other way when she saw me coming. When I got home, Nina's car wasn't in the driveway, which was weird because she didn't have work that day. I went inside and the apartment felt wrong, too quiet. Her stuff was still there, her shoes by the door, her jacket on the couch, but something felt off. I checked my phone again. More messages, more people asking what was wrong with me, more judgment. And then I saw it, a notification from Instagram. Nina had posted a video an hour ago. The video started with her sitting on what looked like Mia's couch, eyes red, mascara running down her face. She looked directly at the camera and took this shaky breath before speaking. "I need to tell you guys something I've been hiding for a long time," she said, her voice cracking. "I've been in an abusive relationship for over a year, and I finally got out." My blood went cold. She went on, talking about emotional manipulation, financial control, how I isolated her from her friends and family. Every word was carefully chosen, hitting every buzzword you'd expect. She even cried at the right moments, pausing for effect. The worst part? She wasn't entirely lying. I did control the finances because I paid for everything. I did get frustrated with her friends because Mia encouraged her manipulation tactics. She took real situations and twisted them just enough to make me look like a monster. The video ended with her saying she was safe now, staying with a friend and asking for privacy. Then she added, "If you want to hear the full story, I'll be posting it on my blog. Link in bio." I sat there, phone in hand, watching the view count climb. 500 views, 1,000 views, 2,000 views. Comments flooded in. "You're so brave. We support you. Men like him are trash." I felt sick. Then another notification. Someone had tagged me in the comments, linking to the fake Facebook account. "See? Look at what he posts. He's exactly what she says he is." People were connecting dots that didn't exist, building a narrative that fit perfectly. The fake account gave credibility to her lies, and the timing, posted the same hour, meant it couldn't be a coincidence. I tried calling Nina, straight to voicemail. I texted her. The message showed as delivered but no response. I texted Mia, demanding to know what was going on. She blocked me. My mom called. She'd seen the Facebook account because someone from her church shared it. "Honey, what's happening? This doesn't sound like you." "It's not me, Mom. Someone made a fake account." Nina's lying about everything, but even saying it out loud felt weak. Who would believe me? Nina had proof, a tearful video, the Facebook account, probably screenshots of our arguments taken out of context. What did I have? Just my word against hers. I spent the rest of that day doing damage control. I reported the Facebook account again, this time with more detail. I screenshot my actual account showing I hadn't made those posts. I sent messages to friends trying to explain. Most didn't respond. A few believed me, but even they sounded uncertain. Jake came over that night with a 6-pack of beer. "Man, this is insane," he said, cracking open a can. "You really think Nina did all this?" "I know she did. The timing's too perfect. The video goes up the same time my job suspends me? Come on, but why? What does she get out of it?" I didn't have an answer then, but I was about to find out. The next morning, Nina's blog post went live. It was long, detailed, and devastating. She described a relationship where I controlled every aspect of her life, where she was afraid to leave because I threatened her financially. She talked about the apartment listings like I was trying to make her homeless. She shared screenshots of my texts, the ones where I was helping her find studios, making me look like I was pushing her out. But here's where it got really calculated. At the end of the post, she added a GoFundMe link. I'm trying to get back on my feet after leaving this situation. Anything helps. Thank you for your support. Within hours, she'd raised $1,200. By that evening, it was $2,800. People were donating, sharing her story, calling me every name in the book. I watched it happen in real time, powerless to stop it. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I'd just lie there, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing through everything that had happened. The threats to leave, the apartments, the silent treatment, Mia's visits, all of it was part of some bigger plan I'd been too stupid to see. On day 3 of my suspension, I got a message from an unknown number. It was a link to a private Instagram account. The bio said, "Victims of Narcissistic Abuse Support Group." They'd shared Nina's story as an example of emotional manipulation and financial abuse. I was now the poster boy for abusive boyfriends. My face, my name, spread across support groups and forums dedicated to helping abuse victims. The irony would have been funny if it wasn't destroying my life. Then things got worse. Nina showed up at my workplace. Well, tried to. Security called me to ask if I knew a woman named Nina who was in the lobby demanding to see me. "Don't let her up," I said. "I'm suspended. I'm not even supposed to be there. She's saying you have her belongings and she needs them back. All her stuff is at the apartment. She has a key." They escorted her out, but not before she caused a scene. I heard about it from Tom later. She'd cried, told security I was keeping her things hostage, said she was afraid to go to the apartment alone. More performance art for anyone watching. My phone buzzed. Another email, this one from the landlord. "We've received a complaint from your girlfriend about feeling unsafe in the building. We need to discuss this." She didn't even live there officially. Her name wasn't on the lease, but she'd been there long enough that she had rights, apparently. Rights she was now weaponizing. I met with the landlord, Mr. Peterson, in his office the next day. He was in his 60s, the kind of guy who'd seen everything and wasn't easily fooled. "She came by yesterday," he said, pulling out a folder. "Filed a formal complaint. Said you're harassing her, keeping her from her belongings. She has a key. She can come get her stuff anytime. I'm literally at work most days, suspended or not." He looked at me over his reading glasses. "Are you actually suspended?" "Yeah, because someone made fake accounts posting garbage under my name. Same time Nina posted her abuse story. Convenient timing, right?" Mr. Peterson nodded slowly. "I've been doing this 30 years. I've seen messy breakups. This feels different." "It is different. She's trying to destroy me." "Got any proof?" "Not yet, but I'm working on it." He leaned back in his chair, considering. "I can't legally stop her from accessing the apartment if her belongings are there. But I can tell you this. I'm not buying what she's selling. I've seen you around, seen how you treat people. You're not the guy she's describing." That was the first time in days someone had actually believed me without hesitation. "Thank you," I said, and I meant it. When I got home, I did something I should have done immediately. I started documenting everything. Every text from the past 8 months, every threat she'd made about leaving, every conversation where she'd manipulated me into giving her more money. I screenshot her Instagram post, her GoFundMe, every comment calling me an abuser. Then I created a timeline. Every "I could leave you anytime" threat, every instance where she'd gotten her way by threatening our relationship. 8 months of manipulation, all laid out in chronological order. I sent it to my lawyer, well, my dad's lawyer who owed him a favor. His name was Richard, been practicing family law for 25 years. "This is extensive," he said when we met. "You've been documenting this the whole time?" "Not intentionally. I just never deleted our texts." "Smart. Unintentional documentation is often the most credible." He flipped through the printed pages, highlighting sections. "The pattern is clear. Repeated threats, financial dependency, emotional manipulation. But here's the problem. She's flipped the script. Everything you did in response to her threats, she's now using as evidence of abuse. The apartment listings. Exactly. You were calling her bluff, but to an outside observer, it looks like you were forcing her out. So what do? We fight back. But carefully. If she's raising money under false pretenses, that's fraud. If she created those fake accounts, that's defamation and identity theft. We need proof. How do I get that? You need to find something that ties her to those accounts. IP addresses, emails, anything that shows she was behind it. I left Richard's office feeling slightly less hopeless. At least I had a plan now. Step 1 was getting into Nina's laptop. She'd left it at the apartment, probably because she was too busy playing the victim to remember it. That night, I sat at the kitchen table with her silver MacBook in front of me. I knew her password. She'd used the same one for everything. I know, invasion of privacy, whatever. But she'd literally tried to ruin my life, so I wasn't feeling too guilty about it. The laptop opened to her desktop. Folders labeled photos, music, school stuff, and one that caught my eye, personal. I clicked it. Inside were more folders, blog drafts, Instagram content. and one titled Escape Plan. My hands were shaking as I opened it. It was a Word document, dated 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks before any of this started. I started reading, and my stomach turned. Escape Plan, Final Draft, Goals. 1. Get out of relationship without losing financial support. 2. Turn public opinion against him. 3. Monetize the situation through donations. Sympathy. 4. Keep the apartment or get him to pay for a new place. Phase 1. Set up the narrative. Post about knowing your worth on social media started 2 weeks ago. Talk to Mia about the abuse I'm experiencing. Create distance. Make it seem like I'm pulling away. Phase 2. The trigger. Let him do something that can be twisted. The apartment listings were perfect. Document everything he does to help me leave. Make sure it looks like he's forcing me out. Phase 3. The reveal. Create fake Facebook accounts posting misogynistic content under his name. Mia's helping with this. She's good with tech. Post the abuse story, video. Time it with the Facebook posts for maximum impact. Launch GoFundMe goal, at least $5K. File complaints with his work and the landlord. Phase 4. Aftermath. Maintain victim status. Keep donations coming, possibly sue him for emotional damages. Move into a nicer place using the donated money. Notes. Mia thinks we should aim higher with the fundraiser, maybe $10K. Need to make sure the Facebook account has enough activity to look real. Remember to cry on camera. People donate more when you cry. Don't respond to his messages. Makes him look more desperate. This was it. This was the proof I needed. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped the laptop. She'd planned everything, every single move. The apartment listings I found weren't a coincidence. She'd baited me into finding them. The distance she'd created wasn't her pulling away, it was setting the stage. And Mia was in on it from the start. I screenshot the document, saved it to a USB drive, and emailed it to myself and Richard. Then I kept digging through her laptop. In her email, I found correspondence with Mia about the Facebook account. They'd used some site to buy aged accounts that looked legitimate, then changed the name and photo to mine. There were drafts of the abuse story, edited multiple times for maximum emotional impact. They'd workshopped it like a movie script. At one point, Mia had suggested adding a part about me physically pushing Nina, but Nina had written back, "No, keep it believable. Emotional abuse is harder to disprove. Smart, calculated, absolutely sociopathic." I found budgets for how she'd spend the GoFundMe money. Only $500 was allocated for actual moving expenses. The rest was new clothes, a girl's trip to Miami, a new phone. She'd literally planned to scam people out of their sympathy donations. But the worst part, the part that made me actually nauseous, was a conversation between Nina and Mia from 2 days ago. Nina: "He's suspended from work, lol." Mia: "Omgi, really? That was easier than we thought." Nina: "I know, right? I kind of feel bad." Mia: "Don't. He had this coming for trying to make you leave." Nina: "True. Plus we're at like $3K now." Mia: "Have you seen the comments on your video? People are pissed at him." Nina: "I know. It's kind of amazing how easy it is to turn people against someone." Mia: "You're a genius, babe." Nina: "Thanks for helping with everything. Couldn't have done it without you." Mia: "That's what best friends are for. You think he'll find the laptop?" Nina: "Probably not. Even if he does, it's password protected." Mia: "True. Hey, did you see that girl who donated $200? She said she was in an abusive relationship too." Nina: "Yeah, I sent her a heart emoji and everything." Mia: "You're terrible. Laugh my ass off." Nina: "Hey, she wanted to help. I'm just accepting her generosity. I had to close the laptop. I literally had to walk away and stand in the bathroom for a few minutes, hands gripping the sink, trying not to lose it completely. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. This wasn't even revenge for the apartment listings. She'd been planning to do this for weeks, just waiting for the right opportunity. The apartment listings I found, that was her giving me the rope to hang myself with. Every step I'd taken thinking I was being smart, calling her bluff, teaching her about consequences, she'd anticipated it all. She'd wanted me to do exactly what I did so she could weaponize it. I photographed everything, every conversation, every draft, every bit of planning. Then I copied the entire laptop contents to an external hard drive, just in case. It was almost midnight when I finally called Richard. "I found something," I said when he answered. "I found the whole plan. Send it to me." I emailed him everything while we were on the phone. I could hear him clicking through the files on his end. "Holy shit," he finally said. "This is gold. This is fraud, conspiracy, defamation, possibly identity theft, depending on how we argue it. So what now? Now you take your life back." The next morning, I didn't wait for HR to call me. I went straight to the office with printed copies of everything. The escape plan document, the conversations about the fake Facebook account, the budgets showing how she planned to spend donation money. I walked into Tom's office at 8 a.m. sharp. "We need to talk," I said. dropping the folder on his desk. Tom looked tired. I'd heard through the grapevine that the fake Facebook situation had caused problems with clients. What is this? Proof that I'm innocent. Everything was fabricated. He opened the folder and started reading. His expression changed as he flipped through the pages. Where did you get this? Her laptop. She left it at the apartment. This could be inadmissible if you accessed it without permission. She lived in my apartment, used my Wi-Fi, and left it on my kitchen table. I'm pretty sure that's permission enough. He kept reading. The conversation logs, the timeline, the explicit admission of creating fake accounts. After about 10 minutes, he closed the folder and looked at me. This is serious. I know. We'll need to verify authenticity, but if this is legitimate. He trailed off, shaking his head. Linda needs to see this. They called an emergency meeting with HR, legal, and upper management. I sat in that conference room for 3 hours while they went through every page, asked me questions, verified timestamps. Linda, who'd been so cold during my suspension, actually looked disturbed. If this is real, we owe you an apology, she said. More than an apology. This is defamation that affected your employment. It's real. You can check the metadata on the documents, verify the email headers, whatever you need to do. They did. By 2 p.m., I was officially reinstated. By 3 p.m., they drafted a company-wide email clearing my name. By 4 p.m., every employee had received it. The email was direct. An investigation into recent allegations against my name has concluded that false information was deliberately spread to damage his reputation. We have confirmed that social media accounts attributed to him were created by a third party without his knowledge or consent. My name has been fully reinstated, and we deeply regret any distress this situation has caused him. My phone started buzzing immediately. Coworkers apologizing, asking what happened, expressing shock. Jennifer from accounting sent a long text saying she felt horrible for avoiding me. I responded to a few, but mostly I was focused on the next step. I took the evidence to the police, filed reports for identity theft, fraud, and defamation. The officer who took my statement was a woman in her 40s named Detective Brennan. This is elaborate, she said, reading through everything. You said there's a GoFundMe? Yes, she's raised over $4,000. For a fabricated abuse story. That's fraud. She looked at her computer screen, typing something. We'll open an investigation. I'll need the laptop as evidence. I handed over the external hard drive with the copied contents. She took the laptop too. One more thing, I said. Can you tell GoFundMe about this? People donated money based on lies. We will. They'll likely shut down the fundraiser and potentially pursue charges for wire fraud. Good. That night, I changed all the locks on the apartment. The landlord, Mr. Peterson, had given me permission after I showed him the evidence. Nina's key wouldn't work anymore. I also set up a camera system, just basic ones from Amazon, covering the front door and living room, just in case. Jake came over to help me move all of Nina's stuff into boxes. We stacked them by the door. You're being generous, letting her have any of this, he said, taping up a box of clothes. I just want her gone. Out of my apartment. Out of my life. Think she knows you found the laptop? Probably not. She thinks I'm still scrambling trying to defend myself. 2 days later, I posted a thread on Reddit. I didn't use names, just laid out the whole situation with screenshots of the evidence. The escape plan document, the conversations with Mia, proof of the fake accounts. I titled it, My Girlfriend Faked Abuse Allegations After I Called Her Bluff and Nearly Destroyed My Life. Here's how I proved my innocence. It blew up. Within 12 hours, it had 50,000 upvotes and made it to the front page. News outlets started picking it up. One of those YouTube channels that reads Reddit stories covered it. The video got 500,000 views in a day, and that's when Nina's GoFundMe got shut down. GoFundMe froze the account and released a statement saying they don't tolerate fundraisers based on false pretenses. They refunded all donations and sent Nina a notice that she had to return the $4,200 she'd already withdrawn. My phone rang. Unknown number, I answered. You bastard! Nina's voice was hysterical. You ruined everything. You ruined everything, I corrected. I just exposed it. The GoFundMe was shut down. People are demanding their money back because you lied to them. I didn't lie. I was. Save it, Nina. I found your laptop. I found the escape plan. I know everything. Silence. Then, you went through my laptop? That's illegal. You committed fraud. Identity theft. You tried to destroy my life. That was just drafts. Ideas. It didn't mean, it meant exactly what it said. You planned this for weeks. You and Mia. Her voice got quiet. Where's my stuff? In boxes by the door. You can pick it up with a police escort. You're not coming into my apartment alone. This is my apartment too. Your name's not on the lease. Never was. You can't just kick me out. Actually, I can. Talk to your lawyer about it. Oh wait, you can't afford one now, can you? She started crying. Real tears this time, I think. Please, I'm sorry. I messed up. Can we just talk about this? Nothing to talk about. The police have your laptop. They're investigating. GoFundMe's pursuing fraud charges. You're done. You're seriously going to let them press charges against me? You seriously tried to ruin my life over 8 months of empty threats. Yeah, I'm going to let them press charges. She was full-on sobbing now. I didn't think it would go this far. You planned for it to go exactly this far. You just didn't plan on getting caught. I hung up, blocked her number, went to the kitchen and made myself dinner for the first time in a week. Chicken stir-fry, extra vegetables. The next day, Nina showed up at my workplace. Well, she tried to. Security called me again. She's in the lobby, the guard said, pretty upset, demanding to see you. Don't let her up. Call the police if she won't leave. From what I heard later, she'd tried to cause a scene, crying, saying I stole her belongings, that she just wanted to talk. But Tom had already briefed security about the situation. They had photos of the fake accounts, copies of her plan. They weren't falling for it. When she wouldn't leave, they did call the police. She was escorted off the property and given a trespass warning. If she came back, she'd be arrested. Mia reached out to me the next day. A long text explaining that she'd just been supporting her friend, that she didn't know Nina would take it so far, that she felt terrible about everything. Sure you did, I thought, screenshotting the conversation where she helped create fake accounts and literally called Nina a genius for scamming people. I didn't respond. I forwarded the text to Detective Brennan. She might want to talk to you too, I wrote. The thread I'd posted on Reddit kept growing. People were sharing it everywhere, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Someone made a TikTok about it that got 2 million views. Comments sections were brutal. This is why false allegations are dangerous. She should go to jail. That dude dodged a bullet. People like her make it harder for real victims. Nina's Instagram was flooded with comments. People had found her video, her blog post, and were tearing her apart. She deleted everything. The video, the blog post, her entire Instagram account. But the internet never forgets. People had saved copies, shared them, analyzed them. Her reputation was destroyed, which, honestly, was exactly what she'd tried to do to me. A week later, Nina showed up at my apartment at 3 a.m. I know because the cameras caught it. She didn't have a key anymore, so she tried to break in. Well, tried is a strong word. She jiggled the doorknob, knocked loudly, then tried to use something, looked like a credit card, to jimmy the lock. It didn't work. The cameras recorded all of it. Her frustrated face when the lock wouldn't budge. Her trying the windows, eventually giving up and sitting on my doorstep, head in her hands. I was awake. I heard her knocking, checked the camera feed on my phone. Part of me wanted to open the door just to see what excuse she'd come up with, but I didn't. I just watched her sit there for 20 minutes before finally leaving. The next morning, I submitted the footage to Detective Brennan. Attempted break-in, I wrote in the email. She responded within an hour. This strengthens our case. Thank you. Things were quiet for a few days after that. I went back to work, tried to rebuild my routine. Coworkers were supportive, almost overly so. People kept apologizing for believing the lies, offering to buy me lunch, asking if I was okay. I am now, I'd say. It's handled. Then Mia posted something, a long Instagram story about friendship and betrayal. She never mentioned Nina by name, but it was obvious. Sometimes you find out people aren't who you thought they were, she wrote. I got caught up in someone else's lies, and I'm sorry to anyone who was hurt because of me. I'm taking accountability for my actions. Attached were screenshots, messages between her and Nina. Conversations I'd already seen on Nina's laptop, but now Mia was releasing them publicly. Nina texting, "Do you think we can get $10K from this?" Mia responding, "Easily. People eat this stuff up." Nina texting, "He actually fell for the apartment listings, lol." Mia responding, "Told you it would work. Men are so predictable." Nina texting, "I kind of feel bad about the Facebook account." Mia responding, "Don't. He deserves it for trying to manipulate you financially." Mia was throwing Nina completely under the bus, saving herself by exposing everything. The comments on her post were mixed. Some people praised her for coming clean. Others called her a coward for only speaking up after getting caught. Nina's response came 2 hours later. A brand new Instagram account, because her old one was gone. The username was something generic, and the only post was a long caption with a black background. "Mia is lying," it started. "She's the one who planned everything. I was going through a hard time after my boyfriend tried to force me out of our apartment, and she convinced me to fight back. She made the Facebook accounts. She wrote the escape plan. She told me what to say in the video. I was manipulated just like everyone else." The comments were vicious. "Stop lying. We've seen the proof. Mia has screenshots. You can't talk your way out of this. Just take responsibility for once." I almost felt bad for her. Almost. Then I remembered the escape plan document was in her handwriting, her laptop, her email. Mia helped, sure, but Nina was the architect of the whole thing. Detective Brennan called me that afternoon. "We're moving forward with charges," she said. "Identity theft, fraud, attempted burglary. Your ex-girlfriend is going to be arrested." "When?" "Probably by the end of the week. We have enough evidence." "What about Mia?" "She's cooperating with the investigation. Might face lesser charges depending on her testimony, so she gets a deal for flipping on Nina." That's usually how it works. I thanked her and hung up. Part of me wanted to warn Nina, tell her to get a lawyer, prepare for what was coming. But why? She'd shown me no mercy. Why should I show her any? The arrest happened on a Friday. I found out through a news article, because apparently local news cared about influencer fraud now. Woman arrested for fake abuse allegations and donation scam, the headline read. Nina's name was right there, along with her mugshot. She looked terrible in it. Eyes red, hair a mess. No makeup, nothing like the polished, crying girl from her viral video. This was who she really was. Caught, exposed, facing consequences. The article detailed everything. The fake Facebook accounts, the planned GoFundMe scam, the attempted break-in. It mentioned that police had recovered detailed plans documenting the scheme. They'd interviewed donors who felt betrayed. One woman said she'd given $200 because she'd survived abuse herself and wanted to help. She felt sick knowing it was all fake. Nina's dad bailed her out the next day. I know because he came to my apartment, banged on the door at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. I checked the camera feed first. He was alone, looked angry but not violent. I opened the door with the chain still on. "What did you do to my daughter?" he demanded. I called her bluff when she threatened to leave me for the 100th time. She's being charged with fraud, because she committed fraud. He shook his head, like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. Nina said you manipulated her, made her financially dependent, then tried to throw her out. I pulled up the escape plan document on my phone, showed it to him through the crack in the door. "This is what your daughter wrote 3 weeks before any of this started. She planned the whole thing." He read it, and I watched his expression change, from angry to confused to horrified. "This can't be real. It's real. The police have the original. You can verify it yourself." He stepped back from the door. "She told me you were abusive," she lied. "About everything. The abuse, the GoFundMe, all of it." But she was crying. She was so upset. She was acting. She workshopped that video with her friend Mia, edited it multiple times for maximum sympathy. She scammed over $4,000 from people. He just stared at me. "I'm sorry she lied to you too," I said, "but I'm not the bad guy here. Your daughter is facing real consequences for real crimes she chose to commit." He left without another word. A few days later, Mia's public betrayal escalated. She released more screenshots, including conversations where Nina admitted she'd exaggerated everything for donations. Nina texting, "Some of these people are donating like $100. It's insane." Mia responding, "They believe you." Nina texting, "Because I'm a good actress, lol." That one quote got picked up everywhere. Nina admitting she was acting, that she'd exaggerated everything for money. It was the nail in the coffin for any remaining sympathy she had. Her new Instagram account got flooded with hate. People posting screenshots of her scam, calling her every name imaginable. She tried to defend herself in comments, but it just made things worse. "This is taken out of context," she wrote under one post. "No context makes scamming people okay," someone replied. Eventually, she deleted that account too, just disappeared from social media entirely. But she wasn't done. Not yet. 2 weeks after her arrest, Nina showed up at my gym. I was on the treadmill when I saw her walk in. She looked different, thinner, exhausted. She was scanning the room, looking for me. I got off the treadmill and walked straight to her. Before she could say anything, I spoke loud enough for people around us to hear. "Nina, I'm not interested in talking to you. You're facing criminal charges for what you did. Leave me alone." She tried to grab my arm. "Please, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. You planned to destroy my life. You wrote a document called Escape Plan detailing how you'd manipulate everyone. That's not a mistake." People were starting to stare. Someone pulled out their phone. Nina's voice got desperate. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." I was confused. "Mia pushed me into it. Mia didn't write your plan. Mia didn't create your fake accounts using your computer. You did that. I'll drop everything. I'll tell the police it was all made up. We can fix this. It's too late for that. The evidence is submitted. You committed fraud against dozens of people." She started crying, real tears streaming down her face. But I'd seen her cry before. I'd seen her perform. I didn't know if these tears were real or just another act. "Please," she whispered. "I love you." "No, you don't. You loved my wallet. You loved having someone to support you while you threatened to leave every week. But you never loved me." "That's not true." I pulled out my phone, opened my photos to screenshots of her escape plan. "This is true. These are your words. You saying the apartment listings I found were perfect for your plan. You budgeting how you'd spend scammed money. You laughing about how easy it is to manipulate people." She looked at the phone, then around the gym. More people were watching now. Someone was definitely recording. "You're going to ruin me," she said quietly. "You ruined yourself. I just exposed it." She ran out, just turned and ran, leaving me standing there with half the gym staring. That video ended up online, of course. Someone posted it with the caption, "Guy reads his ex's fraud plan out loud at the gym." It got shared across Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. The quote about the apartment listings being perfect became a meme. Nina became the face of fake abuse allegations. Every men's rights forum shared her story. Every discussion about false accusations mentioned her name. She'd wanted to be famous, to monetize her story. She got her wish, just not the way she'd planned. Her criminal case moved forward. The DA offered a plea deal: plead guilty to fraud and attempted identity theft, pay back everyone who donated, do 200 hours of community service, and stay on probation for 2 years. She took it. What choice did she have? The evidence was overwhelming. The court hearing was brief. Nina stood in front of the judge, looking small and defeated, and admitted to what she'd done. The judge asked if she had anything to say to the victims. "I'm sorry," Nina said, reading from a prepared statement. "I was in a bad place emotionally and I made terrible decisions. I know I hurt people and I take full responsibility." The judge didn't look impressed. "You orchestrated an elaborate scheme to defraud good people who wanted to help someone in need. You damaged real abuse victims by making people skeptical of their stories. Your actions have consequences beyond just the money." "I know, Your Honor." The judge sentenced her to the plea deal terms. No jail time, but the financial restitution would take her years to pay back, plus the community service, the probation, and a permanent criminal record. I wasn't at the hearing. I didn't want to be. I'd moved on with my life, got my job back, my reputation back, my peace back. Nina was just a chapter I'd closed. But I heard about it from Richard, my lawyer. She looked broken, he told me, completely defeated. "Good," I said. "Maybe she'll think twice before trying to destroy someone's life for a few $1,000s. The final piece came a few weeks later. Nina's last burner phone number sent me a text. I almost didn't read it, but curiosity got the better of me. "I made everything up," the text said. "The abuse, the manipulation, all of it. You weren't a bad boyfriend. I was just greedy and stupid, and I'm sorry I tried to ruin your life. I hope someday you can forgive me." I screenshot the text, saved it, then blocked the number. I didn't respond. There was nothing to say. She'd confessed to everything, probably trying to ease her conscience or hoping I'd somehow make her legal problems go away. But I was done. Done with her, done with the drama, done with all of it. My life went back to normal. Better than normal, actually. I got a promotion at work, started dating someone new, a woman named Ashley, who was the complete opposite of Nina. Honest, independent, emotionally stable. We'd been together for 3 months, and she'd never once threatened to leave over minor disagreements. Imagine that. One night, Ashley and I were cooking dinner together when she asked about Nina. I'd told her the basics, but not all the details. "Do you ever think about what would have happened if you hadn't found that laptop?" she asked, chopping vegetables. "All the time. If I'd been just a little less observant, if she'd remembered to take it with her, my life would be completely different right now. But you did find it, and you protected yourself." "I did. But it makes you wonder how many people don't. How many people get destroyed by lies and never find the proof they need. That's a scary thought." "Yeah, it is." We ate dinner and watched a movie, and I realized how good it felt to just be normal again. No threats, no manipulation, no walking on eggshells. Just two people enjoying each other's company without keeping score or holding relationship hostage. Jake called me the next day. "Dude, did you see this?" He sent me a link. It was an article. Nina's story had made it to one of those online magazines that covers viral drama. They'd done a deep dive on the whole situation, interviewing people she'd scammed, tracking down the fake Facebook accounts, even getting quotes from Mia about how the plan developed. The article painted Nina as a cautionary tale about social media manipulation and fraud. It ended with a quote from one of the donors: "I wanted to help someone in need. Instead, I funded someone's vacation plans." It's made me skeptical of every fundraiser I see now, and that's sad because there are real people who need help. That quote stuck with me. Nina hadn't just hurt me, she'd hurt everyone who'd donated, everyone who'd believed her, every real abuse victim whose story might be doubted because of what she did. The ripple effects of her lies spread further than I think she'd ever imagined. I closed the article and put my phone away. That chapter of my life was over. I'd survived it, exposed the truth, and moved on. Nina was dealing with her consequences. Mia had lost all her credibility, and I was free. Sometimes I think about that moment when I found the studio apartment listings, when I decided to call her bluff. If I'd just apologized like she expected, if I'd given in to her manipulation one more time, none of this would have happened. She would have kept threatening, kept taking, kept using me. But I didn't. I stood up for myself. And while it led to one of the worst experiences of my life, it also taught me that some people will take everything you give them and still demand more. Some people will weaponize your kindness and try to destroy you when you finally set boundaries. And some people will plan your destruction in a Word document and congratulate themselves for being clever. I learned who Nina really was. Not the girl who made me breakfast, not the girl who wore my favorite dress, but the girl who saw me as a resource to exploit and discard. The girl who could look at a camera with fake tears and scam thousands of dollars from sympathetic strangers. The girl who thought she could ruin someone's career, reputation, and life without consequences. She was wrong about that last part. 3 months after everything ended, I got a message from Nina's dad. I almost deleted it without reading, but something made me open it. "I wanted you to know that Nina moved back home," it said. "She's working 2 jobs to pay back the restitution. She deleted all her social media. She's in therapy. I don't expect you to care, but I thought you should know she's genuinely trying to be better." I read it twice, then deleted it. I didn't care. Her growth, her therapy, her attempts at redemption, none of that was my problem anymore. She'd made her choices and now she was living with them. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.